With a very up and down Extreme Rules finally over, the red brand can now focus on the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. This is Smack Talk's Raw Review. So we kicked off the show with Kurt Angle exactly like he did at the Extreme Rules. He made sure that everyone knew that if Brock Lesnar didn't turn up tonight on Raw, or his people get in touch with him about a title defense, he will strip Brock Lesnar of the Universal title. He was just about to do this because Brock had not turned up and his people hadn't been in touch with Kurt Angle at all. He was about to do it, then Paul Heyman is there, quick as a whistle, and says, look, Brock Lesnar is here. He's not here, but I can tell you he wants to show the whole world that WWE is something special. He's pleading with Kurt Angle. Look, Brock wants to go to a UFC fight holding the Universal title. He wants to show everyone exactly what the WWE Universe means to him. And Kurt says, oh, good for him, but he's not here. He hasn't arranged a title defense, so I'm stripping him. And obviously Paul Heyman goes, fine, you hit a hard bargain. SummerSlam, we will have a title defense. Brilliant. And this caused a number of superstars to come out, Bobby Lashley being the first. Then we had Drew McIntyre, Elias, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns and Seth friggin' Rollins. All these superstars wanting to be the #1 contender. What does Kurt do? He does the smartest thing. Look, we're going to have 2 triple threat matches. First match we're going to have Roman versus Drew versus Finn Balor, and that starts now. And our main event for the show will be Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins versus Elias as the next. Whoever wins the triple threat matches will face each other next week, and the winner of that will be the #1 contender. For me, this was a good start to the show. I think that Paul Heyman is absolutely brilliant, and I think the chemistry, the promo between him and Kurt Angle beforehand it made it feel like actually Brock could lose the title tonight because he hasn't followed the rules, and that was good. It makes Kurt Angle actually feel like a legitimate GM finally. So for me, I'm going to give this opening segment a 6 out of 10. So the first match we had of the night, like I said, was a triple threat match, and it was, for me, okay. Triple threat matches are always difficult because someone's going to not look as strong as 2 other competitors, and that really showed tonight. You could tell who they were defending, you know who was going to win, and you could tell who was bottom of a pile out of the 3. And unfortunately that was Finn Balor. Finn was the one who got pinned, but beyond all that, it was interesting on certain points, mainly because obviously with a triple threat match it's, no disqualification, and when it looked like Finn was about to win, Drew McIntyre attacked him with a steel chair, and Roman Reigns, Finn got the steel chair and started knocking everyone out with the steel chair. Finn looked really aggressive with the steel chair, and I was like, yeah, this is a bad sign, we got this really aggressive Finn Balor. It didn't last long, but it was exactly, this is like, I want to see this. I want to see this aggressive, angry Finn Balor in the ring. Unfortunately, to protect Drew McIntyre, Finn had to take the pin. Roman Superman punched Drew out of the ring. He was knocked out. Spear to Finn Balor. 1, 2, 3. Roman is round into the next round of this, #1 contenders matches. For me, it makes sense and it doesn't make sense. Obviously, we knew Roman's always going to be the big guy who's going to be pushed as hell. But is it a shame? Yeah, of course. I would love to have seen someone like Drew or Finn. 2 very much. I think Drew's going to be there at some point, but I think it just shows you how low down they see Finn Balor right now. So for me, it was okay. It was a good start to the show, but it wasn't anything too special when he kind of knew Roman was going to win that match when you looked at the lineup. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Next up, we had Dolph Ziggler cutting an absolutely brilliant promo, stating how brilliant he is as the Intercontinental Champion. He says, look, I give Seth Rollins all the credit in the world. He elevated this title but he's no Dolph Ziggler, which was great. It was a good heel slash, you know, truthish, heelish promo, which you don't often get Dolph doing. His promos are some of the best in the company, so it was good for him to be able to cut a decent promo. This caused Bobby Roode to come out and challenge Dolph Ziggler to an Intercontinental Championship match. Dolph said, yeah, that's fine. And when they're about to have the match, Dolph gets JoJo's mic and goes, by the way, this is just a match, it's not for the Intercon. Like a proper heel, like, I'm not putting my title on the line, this is just a regular match. But it was, again, Dolph really putting out all the moves in this match, and it just, again, you just expect it. You just expect it with Dolph Ziggler. He's a hard worker, and he's one of the best guys in the company for that kind of style. Just, again, you think, oh, they're gonna finally give Bobby Roode something to do. No, he lost. Dolph did get got to use the zigzag on him, and 1, 2, 3, he got to use zigzag and a super kick to Bobby Roode. Again, it was a lot closer than, and I think this really works for Dolph when he's a heel. He's that heel champion who it always seems like he's almost gonna lose, but just happens not to lose because he's just too cunning, or he's able to cheat his way into a victory. So that's always good. So I'm going to give this match a 6 out of 10 because it was entertaining. It's just, it just shows you how far Bobby Roode has fallen, especially afterwards when Mojo Rawley gave him crap behind the stage. That was just like, oh, for God's sake, I hate Mojo Rawley, and he's giving crappy speeches like that. Like attitude to Bobby Roode, who in NXT was the best heel in the whole NXT roster. So again, just shows you how far he's fallen since coming to the main roster. He definitely needs to turn heel soon. Next up, we had Tyler Breeze taking on Mojo Rawley, and Mojo won. It was a crap match. Both men. I feel so sorry for Tyler Breeze. He's a good wrestler, and Mojo Rawley's crap. And they're giving Mojo a big push. It seems he's getting a lot more TV time since he's moved to Raw. I honestly think he's just an awful wrestler. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10. Next up, we had a tag team match. Now, this was quite interesting. This all started because Kurt Angle called Bayley backstage into our office and said, look, you're going to have a match tonight, and it's going to be a tag team match with Sasha Banks. Like I always say, we always sort everything in the rings. I shouldn't have sent you to therapy. You guys need to sort this out in the ring itself by working together. And you'll be taking on a team of Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox. You have to say it like that now, don't you? This was interesting. The match itself was really quick, and I think it was like less than 5 minutes, because Dana Brooks and Alicia Fox started beating up on Bayley outside the ring. They weren't being heelish. This is the thing. I think both Dana and Alicia Fox just were, using that advantage. I mean, Sasha lost it, helped Bayley by knocking out both Alicia Fox and Dana Brooks. The referee kept on telling her, back off, get back in your corner, get back in your corner. Sasha wasn't having any of it. Referee went, that's it, disqualification. Dana Brooks and Alicia Fox won the match, which surprised me, full stop. I mean, afterwards you had a backstage segment where Sasha goes off on a rant stating, actually no, I'm sick. What annoys me most is I actually love you, Bayley. You're my best friend. You care about me. I know I don't like talking about my feelings and all this lot. And instantly I thought, this is what friends do. Yes, they fight and they get angry. And Sasha's character is designed not to be a lovey-dovey type of character. She's very, kind of, I'm the boss, I need to be the best. And if I show a weakness like caring for someone, it's just, I have to hide it. And a lot of people went automatically, oh, they're going to do a lesbian kind of love trap thing with Bayley. And I honestly don't see that happening. I just see this as a friend telling another friend she loves her, and end of the day, it's developing the characters better. I like that. So for me, I'm going to give, the character development was great. So that's a good 6 out of 10. The match itself was, it did something for that. So I'm going to just take it from the character development part, and like I said, give it a 6 out of 10. The match itself was awful. It wasn't anything special. I don't really get these 5-minute tag team matches, but it did what it needed to do. Next up, we had a tag team match where we saw the Ascension taking on the new Raw Tag Team Champions, the B Team. And the B Team won. Of course they did. It's the Ascension they're taking on. It's not that hard to beat the Ascension. Me and a towel could beat the Ascension right now. I like what the B Team are doing. After the match, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy won the big screen and just pretty much stated, we're going to have a fight with you guys next week for the titles. And I thought, oh great, you know, I'm looking for it. It means we actually have a title match next week. Do I think the B Team's going to win? I think they are. I think they're going to hold the titles to SummerSlam, and then someone like the Authors of Pain or the Revival will take the titles off them. But yeah, right now I'm enjoying what the B Team are doing with this whole, oh my god, we're winning matches and we're the tag team champions. Yes, it's going to grate quite soon, and you can tell that. But hopefully WWE are going to be smart enough and take the titles off them sooner rather than later. The match itself, again, wasn't anything, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to just give it a 3 out of 10. Next up, we had a promo where Alexa Bliss celebrated her victory over Nia Jax at Extreme Rules, and I love Alexa Bliss celebrations, mainly because they are great fun. She cut some brilliant promos. Her and Mickie James were brilliant throughout it all. And then Ronda Rousey, who's still suspended till Wednesday somehow, I don't know how that works, was coming down like, literally it felt like the Shield, where she's walking out from the crowd. She gets to the front entrance of a ramp. Alexa Bliss and Mickie James are trying to get away. She chases after him into the ring, takes out Mickie James. All the referees are trying to keep her back. Not going to happen. She knocks out all the referees, pulls Alexa Bliss into the center of the ring, arm bar into the ring. It was brilliant. It was fantastic. More security, more backstage, people pulling them apart. Kurt Angle comes out and says, look, I have to suspend you for 1 more week because you attacked officials. Baron Corbin goes, you can't just do that. You can't just ban her for 1 week. And he goes, well, by the way, for SummerSlam, you will be taking part in the Raw Women's title match against Alexa Bliss, so you're #1 contender. That's fine. That's really going to build up the Raw Women's title match, I think. But yeah, I'm happy with that. It's done. You know, Alexa Bliss has a good promo. I can definitely see, you know, Ronda Rousey winning the title at SummerSlam. Makes sense. It's a big stage. It's one of the big 4, and it'll be great. It'll push viewership for a lot of people to see her win it. But yeah, good. It was good, and it's a nice traditional heel versus face type of match. So I'm gonna give the segment itself a 5 out of 10. Next up, we had the Authors of Pain taking on Titus Worldwide, and yeah, the Authors of Pain won again. This is the second time they fought. I didn't even know this rivalry was still going on. God. But yeah, Authors of Pain won. It was a really quick match. I can't really say what else. It gets a 3 out of 10 because it really wasn't anything. It's not doing up for both teams. Next up, we had Ember Moon taking on Sarah Logan, and at least it's not Liv Morgan. That's different. But you can definitely tell the difference between Ember Moon and the Riot Squad members. I think Ruby Riot's the only one who's probably at the same level as Ember Moon right now in ring skills. You can definitely tell Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan have a long way to go before they're at their level, before they even get to like Sasha Banks, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky Lynch levels. Those are the women you need to, you know, get to. Ember Moon right now, she's really good. For me, she's one of the best women wrestlers in the company, and she lost to Sarah Logan, and I think this is a back step, and I think you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to have the Riot Squad take on Ember Moon until Ruby Riot returns, so they can actually give them some direction. But it just feels like right now we're seeing the same matches quite often. Even though it's Sarah Logan this time, it's still a member of the Riot Squad, and it kind of annoys me because it's like, what's the point? Let Ember take on other members of the Raw roster. You've still got Dana Brooks, you've got Alicia Fox, you've got other women there who could use who could lose, and yet it's not going to damage them too much. Right now, it just feels like Sarah Logan isn't at that level to beat Ember Moon, and yet she managed to do it. So it's kind of like that 50-50 booking, yet it just, you know what I mean, don't you guys? So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10, mainly because you can see where Ember's going. You see where this is just a rival until actually Ruby Riot returns from injury. Then this moves us to the final match of the night, and it's the main event. It's the triple threat match between Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, and Elias. And what a difference! What a difference this makes. Now, I was like, the first one was fine. It did what it needed to do. It was a good kickoff show match. This one definitely lifted up for what I'm not a massive, like I always say, like triple threat matches are a little bit too chaotic and it's difficult to mark because there's so much going on. But this one really worked. Elias went straight on to attacking Seth. Seth was again MVP. You expect that from Seth friggin' Rollins. Bobby Lashley was the powerhouse. He's very, very difficult to control, and at sometimes Elias and Seth had to work together to try and stop Bobby Lashley, which you didn't expect to see at all because of Elias attacking Seth straight away. But yeah, it was so entertaining, and it was such a better match than the first one. You just go, I like that. It just shows you what the difference is with guys who are. Elias is getting pushed. You can feel it. He knows he's getting pushed further than he was expecting. Seth Rollins is the guy on Raw right now, and Bobby Lashley, after that victory over Roman Reigns, just feels like he is one of the top guys finally on the Raw main roster. Bobby did win. He speared Elias 1, 2, 3. It's going to be Bobby versus Roman Reigns in the main event next week for the #1 contender. But that's fine. I'm not angry with what. Look, we kind of expected the Bobby Lashley Roman Reigns match at Extreme Rules to be the #1 contenders match for the Universal title. Luckily, it was kind of like we kind of saw that, but you've kind of moved it to Raw now because you needed the draws, I'm guessing, for Raw, and this type of match will get people to watch it. So I can see where they're going with this. You just got that feeling, don't you guys? That the only reason Bobby won the Extreme Rules one is because Roman's going to win it where it really matters, and it has a title contendership. So it's just got that bit of a worry, hasn't it? But the match itself was a lot better. I'm going to give this a 7. I'm going to give this a 7 because Seth Rollins was epic throughout it all. And there you go, guys, that was Raw for this week. What did I finally think? Well, to be honest with you guys, I noticed something with this episode of Raw. So I was skipping all the stuff which was like, it was just filler from Extreme Rules, and stuff which had already happened and they repeated itself, and I skipped all that and I just stuck with the promos, the matches and the backstage segments which were new. Raw was 2 hours long. If you took out all the stuff which was Extreme Rules, this is what happened already on the show, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you've got an extra hour there where you could have had more time to develop characters, and you've done it by filling it with stuff which no one really cared about. It was interesting. I was rather surprised when I realised this. I definitely think the women's division is still very rocky right now. I think this SummerSlam match between Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss needs to knock it out of the park, because if it doesn't, I'm really worried. Because right now the Raw women's division, actually all the women's division right now in WWE is on thin ice. It just feels like it's gone back 10 years right now, especially with the type of matches we're getting. But yeah,
Seth Rollins is the man, and I'm just at this point he's not going to be in that #1 contenders match. But what did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Do you think it was better than last week's episode of Raw? Leave it in the comments below. If you do like our videos, guys, please like, subscribe, press that bell so you can keep up to date with all our videos here at Smack Talk Wrestling. And if you want to follow the channel, you can do. It's at Smack Talk YouTube, and we've now got Instagram at Smack Talk Wrestling. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Boise88. So I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.